If you're in the construction business, estimating is critical. Number one, you can't bid your jobs too low or you won't make any money. Number two, you can't bid your jobs too high or you won't get the job. And number three, you can't sit on it because your competitors are getting their estimates in early. So making an accurate estimate and getting it in early is critical to the success in the construction industry. So what you do is you go into estimating system and you come to the main screen. This is the front screen. So we set this to start new estimate. The date is in there, and these are the line items that are going to go into the estimate. Now you don't need to be overly concerned with this because you can add line items once you get in, but just these are the default values. So let's just say that you're not going to have any overtime, so you can set that to 0. So what you've got 6 line items for labor, you've got 3 line items for equipment, you got 3 line items for rental equipment, and you got 6 line items for materials. Hit proceed to next step. Now here's your estimate form. So what you're going to do now is just add your line items onto your estimate. So let's just say that this here, you're not going to need you're going to need engineering, you're going to need drafting, you're going to need sawing, there's going to be some drilling involved, there's going to be welding, and then you're going to have to paint it. So let's just say now engineering, we're going to need 4 hours of engineering, we're going to need 2 hours of drafting, 2 hours of sawing, we're going to need 2 hours of drilling, we're going to need 6 hours of welding, and we're going to need 6 hours of painting. Okay, that's done. So now going down here is your overtime zeroed out. Equipment, we're going to use the TIG welder, we're going to need that for 6 hours. Rental equipment, we're going to have to rent a sandblaster, we're going to need that for 4 hours. Your material, you're going to use flat stock, let's say 5/16, and you're going to need 4 of those. So what you do now, your estimate is basically set up. You don't need to be overly concerned with this because you can change it. So we hit proceed to next step. So here's the estimate form now. So you've got a header up here, you can fill that in as you see fit. You do want to put something in these red fields here so you can refer to this later. So I'm just going to say test and test. Well, let's say test 22 so I can find it. And then okay, now down here, here's your labor section. So you can see this is all calculated and extended. Now you can make these changes in here as you see fit. So coming down through here, here's your equipment now. You're gonna bill for this, your equipment, because there's wear and tear on your equipment. It's not free. So these rates you set yourself. All these line items go into a table that you put in there one time, and then you just call them in just like we did. So here's your rental equipment now, and your materials. Now here's your extended estimate. So just going down through this real quick, you've got $1,200 in labor, no overtime, $150 in equipment, $200 in rental. Your materials, $93. Here's your subtotal. Here's your overhead and profit. We put that in there for you so you will make some money on this job. Here's your overhead and profit on your materials, and here's your total. So what you do is you just hit save estimate, and now you've got it. Okay, so you've put your estimate in the system. So let's say that you go get a cup of coffee and you sit and you think about it for 10 minutes, and then you come back and you go, I really forgot to do this, or I really need to tweak this, or this is a little high, or this is a little low. Anyway, you come back into this system and you set it to your estimate, which we saved as test 22, and you go on in here now and here's your estimate. So this gives you the ability to change this. You can add line items here and extend this, and you make your changes, and you come down here and you hit update estimate, and that'll be reflected in there. Now at this point you've got a real accurate picture of what you're going to go forward with to your client. So what you do here is you hit print estimate, and I'll show you what that looks like. After you've tweaked your estimate and got it where you want it, then you hit print estimate. So what that does is it takes the estimate and it downloads it in Microsoft Word format. So the next thing you'll see is your estimate inside Microsoft Word, and this is what it looks like. So the nice thing about Microsoft Word is it's ubiquitous. You can email this to your client, you can print it, you can save it, you can edit it, you can do whatever you want with it. So it's a very flexible system. But if you look at this now, you've got your header information on top. Here's your labor section. So we've got our different types of labor and the rates and the amounts, and it's all extended. So here's your labor amount. You've got no overtime on this job. Here's your equipment to atone for the wear and tear on your equipment. Here's your rental equipment. Here's your materials. And then here's your section right here where it breaks everything out. So you've got total labor, you've got total equipment, you've got total rental equipment, you've got materials, you've got a subtotal, you've got overhead and profit, and you've got a total. So you send this to your client, he signs it and sends it back, and now you're working. So that's really all there is to the system. You can see, looking at this here, this is an estimate for a street paving job, and you can looking at this now, you can see how accurate this is. So down here, a simple job like this, you get a call and it's like, okay, well, go out and do it or whatever. Well, when you break it down, you've got $2,800, $2,900 here. So it's just a matter of just getting this down and getting it over to your client, getting it signed before you start work. Now, when you use estimating system, you will be building up a library of estimates, and you have all your line items in the system. So you can see how easily you could control your estimates and how easy it is to make money. Estimating system will take this big headache of estimating jobs and reduce it down, as you just saw, to the bare essentials. The nice thing about this is it's fast and it's also accurate. So anyway, this is a very inexpensive system. We don't ask a lot of money to use it, so sign up for the 30-day trial, and then let's get going. EstimatingSystem.com, click on free trial, put in your information, and I'll send you over your username and password. That's all there is to it. Thank you. Bye.